Alright guys, today I want to present about Japanese countries or Japanese country or methods of intercultural communication. Before that, I want to show some video from YouTube about culture and tradition of Japanese country. Okay, let's enjoy the video.
Japan. Culture and tradition. Japan is famous for having one of the richest and most interesting cultures in the world. Many of the country's ancient practices and traditions are still intact today, helping to shape Japan's unique lifestyle and global perception. While most Westerners conjure thoughts of sushi, samurai and sumo wrestlers when they think about Japanese culture, and they wouldn't be wrong, these notions barely scratch the surface of the Japanese people and their multifaceted culture. Even though Japan, much like other neighboring East Asian countries, has been influenced by China and Chinese culture since the classical times, ever since the United States ended Japan's long period of relative isolation in the 19th century, Japan has opened up to and embraced Western cultures from regions such as Europe and North America. While learning from other countries, Japan also successfully retains its own unique and beautiful culture. If you are getting ready to take a holiday to the land of the rising sun, heading there for business purposes, or just looking to be aware and respectful to people from this country, here are some traditions and rituals that you need to know in order to blend in with the locals and not succumb to an acute case of culture shock.
Alright guys, after we watch the video from YouTube, I want to more explain about Japan's country. First, geographical of the country. Japan is an archipelago or string of islands on the eastern edge of Asia. There are four main islands: Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. There are also nearly 4,000 smaller islands. Japan's nearest mainland neighbor are the Siberian region of the region in the north and Korea and China farther south. Almost 4/5 of Japan is covered with mountains. The Japanese Alps run down the center of the largest islands. Honshu, the highest peak is Mount Fuji, a concept volcano considered sacred by many Japanese. Japan can be a dangerous place. There are the tectonic plates that form Earth's crust meet nearby and often move against each other, using earthquakes. More than 1,000 earthquakes hit Japan every year. Japan has about 200 volcanoes, and 6 of which are active. Okay, next I want to explain about language of Japanese. Japan have a language, Japanese. Japanese communication style is very unique, mostly because Japan was isolated to the outer world between the 6th 16th and 19th centuries. There also was hierarchy, similar like the caste system in India, where the elite samurai were on top and those who took care of dead animals were at the bottom. It was very costly to become an outcast in this closely knit hierarchical society, so people were careful not offending others. One of the most unique aspects of Japanese communication style is the lack of rejection. Japanese people rarely use the word no because rejecting someone is considered as a sign of disrespect. Because of the same reason, Japanese people use symbolism and usually make a request indirectly so that the other side doesn't have to feel the pressure. When it comes to writing, Japanese people express their idea less clearly. Westerns usually clearly stats the most important point at the beginning or ending of an essay, but Japanese people frequently mention the important point somewhere in the middle. Okay. Okay, next people of Japanese. Japanese are famous for their willingness to work very hard. Children are taught to show respect for others, especially parents and bosses. They learn to do what's best for their family or company and worry less about their own needs. Alright, next is habits of the country of Japan. Taking off your shoes. This habit is definitely a classic of all habits, following the Japanese mentality about the importance of cleanliness. It is a custom to take off your shoes at the entrance of the house. It is something that you learn very quickly when you start living in Japan, since you do not only have to do it every time you enter your own house or someone else, but also in some restaurant and even before entering the bathroom. Se- Next is carrying around the handkerchief all the time. There are two main reasons why you always end up keeping a handkerchief in your bag after living in Japan for a long time. The first reason is because the summer in Japan is suffocating and extremely humid, and you will sweat a lot. This hand kerchief will allow you to dry your sweat and are very helpful in the hottest times of the year. Next is saying itadakimasu. In Japan, it is custom to give thanks for receiving the food that we are going to eat, as well as to thanks to people to thanks the people who have participated in preparation of this food, uh, farmers, fishermen, etc. The ingredient used in it and the person who has prepared the food both before saying itadakimasu and after eating saying gochiso sama deshita. On both occasions, these words are accompanied by the gesture of putting hands together. It is an ancient Japanese practice that is still widespread today. It is a habit that you also end up occurring over time. And next is take a hot bath at night. Unlike in other countries, taking a bath is almost reserved for special moments. Taking a bath has a great importance in Japan, whether in everyday life, famous onsen or sento, enjoying a bath in Japan at the end of the day is a deeply rooted part of Japanese culture and even has its own rules and labels. Next is make a line uh, for the train. Since the population in Japan is very high, more than 120 million inhabitants, there are several rules to regulate the flow of people and avoid situation of chaos. One of those rules is to make a line on the train platform and wait your turn to get on the train. It is something that basically everyone does. Next is separating the trash. Separating the trash. In Japan, it is a custom to separate garbage and take out following some rules that will vary depending on the area and or the city. Next is bowing. Japan is well known for its bowing culture due to the strict hierarchical stratification that Japanese people learn to respect and understand from an early age. Bowing is an extremely common habit among them. It is basically a way of showing respect and submission to a superior. There are different ways of bowing depending on the social position of the person we are addressing, which can be confusing at first. However, after living in Japan for a while, you will realize that you are bowing all the time, even on the phone. Next is slurping. Unlike other countries where slurping while eating is considered rude, in Japan it is completely acceptable to slurp, making noise and bring the bowl to your mouth to drink the broth when eating noodle dishes such as ramen and soba. This is the reason is because it is a belief to be a sign that you are enjoying the food. They also tweeted to avoid burning the tongue since these dishes are you are enjoying the food. They since the dishes are normally served very hot, this custom only applies in the case of noodles, since eating making noise is also considered bad manners in Japan when eating any other kind of food. At first, it may be disconcerting and even if disgusting to listen to Japanese people slurping their ramen dishes very loudly, but as time goes by, you will get used to it, and even you will end up doing it well. Next is okay. Next, food of Japanese. Japanese food is very different from food in Western countries. There is a lot of rice, fish, and vegetables, but little meat, with little fat or dairy. Diet is very healthy, which helps Japanese people live on average longer than any other people in the world. Okay, next I want to explain about tourism objects of Japan country. First, Shibuya Crossing. Located in Shibuya area in Tokyo, Shibuya Crossing is widely known as the busiest crossing in the world. It consists of five crossroads that allow pedestrians to come and go in every direction of the crossing. At the busiest time of the day, more than 3,000 people are estimated to cross it at the same time without bumping into each other, which creates which creates an incredible view. Shibuya Scramble Square is a giant shopping complex that features Shibuya Sky, a popular observation deck offering 360-degree views of the iconic crossing as well as the Shibuya district full of skyscrapers. And second, Mountain Fuji. There's no doubt that Mountain Fuji is a must-visit place since it's a symbolic mountain in Japan, known as the highest mountain in Japan. It fascinated numerous visitors with its extraordinary beauty and presence. You can enjoy symbolic peak from the distance or tackle the exciting hiking trail which allow you to explore the surrounding nature. It also offers a variety of outdoor adventures such as kayaking or boat cruise at scenic lakes called Fuji Five Lakes or Fuji Kogo in Japanese. Barbecue and camping can be other options around there. Third is Okinawa. If you're planning a long trip in Japan, hit head to Okinawa to make most of your time. You can direct flights from domestic airports such as Narita, Kansai International Airport, and Chibu train to reach the southernmost prefecture consisting of numerous remote islands. The emerald green ocean and sandy white beaches allow you to discover the beauty of untouched nature through a range of guided tours for marine activities such as sea kayaking and snorkeling. Okay, next is Kyoto Fushimi, Fushimi Inari. Kyoto never stopped fascinating visitors with the extraordinary townscape, with the beautiful serenes and temples. It used to be an ancient capital of Japan until Tokyo took over its place and it became the largest center of economy and politics. Another highlight you should not miss is Fushimi Inari, a Shinto shrine situated at the base of Mountain Inari. The scenic shrine is visited by numerous tourists from around the world as the most popular tourist attraction in Kyoto. It welcomes visitors with Senbon Torii, which literally refers to 1,000 red torii gates creating stunning scenery. Okay, next there's Miyajima. Miyajima is a volcanic island which belongs to Hatsukaichi City in Hiroshima Prefecture. It can be reached by regular ferry service from Miyajima-guchi Pier, which takes passengers to the volcanic spot on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. As you take the first step into the islands, you will be welcomed by friendly deer living there. But unlike deer in Nara Park, it is strictly prohibited to feed them. Okay, next is celebration of Japan. New Year's celebration are Sogatsu. The arrival of the New Year on January 1st is usually celebrated with family and symbolic food. And people gather in the temples at midnight on the 31st of December to ring out the old year on tiny bronze bells before they say a prayer to bring them luck and success in the new year. And next is Hakata do Taku Matsuri in Fukuoka. On the 3rd and 4th May, thousands of people dance and parade through the streets of Fukuoka City to take part in Hakata do Taku Matsuri. As they parade, they carry out traditional wooden samochi or rice serving at the zero. The festival is also known as the Hamatan Fort Festival, as many of the events take place around the port area. Next is Kanda Matsuri in Tokyo. One of the most famous festivals in Tokyo, Kanda Matsuri takes place in the middle of May each year, and is festival for a sign of Kanda music. Then the town will accompany the Mikoshi or portable sirens through the streets as they start their journey from the Kanda Mountain in the morning, taking their way through the Kanda district, Hombashi and Akihabari before returning back to the siren by nightfall. Next is Yuki Matsuri in Sapporo. The snow festival or Yuki Matsuri takes place in Sapporo in February. Started in 1950 by a local student who built a series of six statues out of snow. The festival is now characterized by its giant snow sculptures. Next is Aoi Matsuri in Kyoto. May also see a long procession of revelers in the period costume traveling through the streets of Kyoto alongside Kamo River. The festival gets its name from the aoi or holy shock, which are traditionally used to decorate the floats. Okay, the last slide. I want to explain about the culture or tradition of Japan's country. Japanese people always display modesty and humility. People often go to convey the message, "I'm not above you, I respect you." Bowing along with a higher degree of angle means more respect. Additionally, Japanese people have two religions at the same time. They are both Buddhist and Shintoist. When a Japanese baby is born, the ceremony is held into the Shinto shrine, and when someone dies, the ceremony takes place in a Buddhist temple. Lastly, Lastly, in Japan, people are obsessed with hygiene. They take off their shoes when entering someone's house and take a bath almost every day. Many foreigners are surprised that there are no trash cans in the public areas, but everywhere is still clean. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you are understand about what I'm explaining for you. Okay, that's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi